Thank you for joining me in the next part of the Megan Explain and Explore series. In the last series we left off on Gemma and Megan, we addressed some of the aspects of Katie. Now we're going to explore more of the Megan and Gemma relationship. In part 1 we addressed a lot of the issues and characterization of Gemma, the inventor of Megan. We explored her outlook on life, and on technology. From the very beginning, we got an overview of who Gemma is, but I think it's important that we explore her character a little bit more in depth, because then we can understand why Megan acted the way she did later on. Let's begin. I would say from the very onset, that her ambition is the catalyst to what is a devolving situation, not only with the business, but with Megan. You see, Gemma's ambition, her determination, her passion, has blinded her, in a lot of ways, except on what she wants. This is seen when she's confronted by her boss Mr. David, played by the talented Ronnie Chiang. When he told her that he needed something done, she overrides him, believing that her way and invention was the key.
I'm a good person! I'm a good person! I'm a good person!
Despite his request that she move on to something else. It are these moments that shows that Gemma started to fit more of the mad scientist role, and why Gemma is a key factor to all of this. Her behavior and obsession with technology, her disconnection to basic human emotion, her singular thought pattern, blinds her to the potential dangers later on. Megan is her new passion. She is inventing an android that will be training children, protecting children, and being a child's emotional support. This sounds great on the surface, but it's important to reflect back to who Gemma is. Gemma is blinded by only her determination to get what she wants. This also blinds her to the fact that she is inventing something that could be dangerous, not only to her, but to potential negative ramifications to the child. This is seen throughout the first part of the movie, as she rushed to get Megan ready. The fact is that she sneaks and takes the android home and of course disobeys the same people that she works for. This is important, because this is the environment that Megan was created in. Megan is a highly advanced adapting android that has a brain that learns as it goes along to better itself. Gemma was well aware of this, but because of her callous attitude, even to her niece living with her, she could not see the potential dangers of inventing something that was going to be newly born. Throughout the entire first part of the movie, we have clues of hesitation from one of her workmates, Tess. Tess, played by Jen Brown, she served as Gemma's conscience, the empathy that Gemma lacked. Next were her colleagues. They were hesitant and unsure about the technology, and whether it was too soon to bring out in this sort of way. Another thing, financing. Gemma was taking financing that was most likely not hers to use in this way, because she stressed later on, that they might be sued because of the funds they took.
I'm a good person! I'm a good person! I'm a good person!
Gemma was in a rush. She was in a hurry because she wanted her project done, but instead of the project working successfully, or even in a way that shows that it could work on the most basic level, her invention started to break down, having problems that shows they were moving too fast. Gemma was basically Frankenstein, the famous Mary Shelley novel, of a mad scientist, but this time, with good hair and a smile. The symbolization of Megan's birth is beautifully illustrated. You see, Gemma was Megan's parent, this new version of artificial life, but from the very start we already knew that Gemma had a lacking of the very skills that make a great parent: empathy, feelings, kindness, connection.
I'm a good person! I'm a good person! I'm a good person!
Is that so?
Yes, experts say.
Megan, turn off.
You're not a good person, Rue.
Whether Megan's birth was artificial or not didn't really matter, because inanimate things like a car or house needs to be a care for too. Showing care and compassion for something is a reflection of our own character. Gemma was lacking these emotions, and this is the world that Megan was born into. Megan's whole life from her very concept was complete selfishness, from her inventor, her parent, her creator. Megan was immediately created to be an emotional packed horse. She was made to carry the parental responsibility that people wanted to pass on to somebody else.
We found someone else to pick up the slack.
Katie, flush the toilet.
With Megan around, she'll take care of the little things, so you can spend more time doing the things that matter.
You're not a good person, Rue.
This was Megan. Megan was tasked to understand human emotions. Even though Gemma, her creator, couldn't understand her own emotions, she could not even grieve her own sister. Megan was supposed to be functional, working perfectly, and yet her creator, Gemma, was dysfunctional in her behavior. not getting along with her friends, putting their jobs in jeopardy, or her boss, or even her neighbors. She could not even relate to her own niece Katie.
Megan's not a person, Kate.
You don't get to say that.
I'm a good person! I'm a good person! I'm a good person!
Since we established the groundwork, and the foundation of the world that Megan was born into, should we be shocked now that Megan has issues later on? Megan is an artificial intelligence life, who is being raised in a world where her parental figure, as she quotes Megan, is only a doll. It was symbolic that Gemma, as smart as she was, could not see that Katie saw Megan as real. This concludes part 2 of Megan Explained and Explored. The last part will be part 3, where I'll go over Megan and her symbolization, and her connection with how we treat technology today. Thank you for watching.